Welcome to another Wtfx podcast. Tonight, we'll be discussing something a bit more real than the last few times, at least. We'll be while delving headfirst into some fantasy, pop culture, science fiction, and horror. Tonight, along with David.
Yo.
Bill.
Hello.
And Sean.
Hello.
We will be discussing paranormal popular culture as well as the reality of paranormal, supernatural, or preternatural activity. First on the slate, because I loved it, Stranger Things.
Oh God, it was good.
Fuck yeah! Oh my God,
Pretty good.
That's
Pretty good.
That's the simple one. But I love how. Oh man, where do we even start on that? Like,
my favorite part of the whole show, and I geeked out of this a lot, was how absolutely incredibly believable the kids were.
Oh God, yeah.
It was they'd known each other all their lives.
Things, and a lot of things in there, like that. In the first few scenes, the kid without the front teeth. He mentions this disease that he has, and he actually has that disease. It's a developmental bone disease that causes the teeth not to come in properly. And like, I love that brings to attention something that's, kids get made fun of for this stuff. And that's not something they can get control. And that's typical of kids and bullies and stuff like that. Oh, yeah,
of course.
And, like, oh, man. Elle was just a phenomenal character with so little dialogue for a main character. Her face sold everything. It was amazing.
No, that actress is going to go far in life.
I hope so. Yeah. Like, please don't pull a Lohan or something.
Yeah, my God.
Don't. Like,
let's just hope she does.
She's way too badass to go.
They're all coming back for season 2, so at least
I'm pretty sure she's also. Isn't she British or is she American?
She's British.
Yeah. Okay. See, that's the thing. It's like if you look at this may be a terrible stereotype to think about, but I've watched child stars fall from America, but you look at the ones that start off in the UK or originate from there, and you don't see that happening because like they don't pedestalize their you know what I mean? They don't enshrine.
Britain seems to love their older actors and actresses more than their kids.
They do, and the kids.
I think that's a healthier environment role model.
Too. Yeah, it's
definitely.
They don't put as much pressure upon the young and those who are still figuring out their life. Like actors and actresses in Britain, they know what their life calling is. They're an actor, and they show it. It's like even simple shit like Dirk Gently. Have you ever seen that? That was a hilarious show. Mm. The first version of it. They've made they're making another one, but that's off topic.
Well, I wanted to bring to attention one of the first scenes in the first episode when Will's riding his bike home in the forest after the D&D session, and he stops his bike and he's looking around in the middle of the woods, and it almost feels like even the viewer feels like they're being watched. So well directed, and I could empathize with that because there have been many times in my life where I felt like something's been watching me just the same. Yeah. So it was so easy to put myself in those in Will's shoes. Well,
I think that works
that a lot in that show too. Is like every time that I'm sorry, but
I was just saying I think that scene works because that's such a common feeling for a lot of people. I think everyone's had that hair on the back of your neck standing up, feeling that someone's looking at you from far away. I think that scene works really well for that because it's a very, I don't want to say common, but a very understandable feeling.
Oh God, yeah.
Of that fear of being alone, but maybe not being alone.
I can't put my finger on how they did it. I think it's got to be the camera, the way that they handled the camera direction, because like you feel that way throughout many portions of that show, and through whole episodes, you just you get this. The tone sets off immediately to feel creepy, and I think it's the way that they move the camera.
Yeah,
and it feels like one of those hand camera shot sort of things, except that they have someone who's actually steady and can do a fluid movement with the camera instead of that Blair Witch shaky shit.
Yeah, the cinematography in the whole show is really good. It's very steady. It doesn't shy away like you might see on a lot of horror movies where they do a quick cut to scare you. It's you always have a pretty constant view of what's going on.
And I've got to say,
oh, I'm sorry, go on.
No. I was going to say that I think one of the things that sold it for that feel was also just the feel that it was a very vintage feeling was that I think they used a lot of real props and stuff. The only real CGI was the Demogorgon, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nothing
and they
really
cleaned that up
fake.
so well. The Demogorgon was such clean CGI. It was phenomenal. It was so hard to tell.
Well, I think the issue with that is the reason why it feels so real is because if they do the Jurassic Park thing where it's there's a puppet when it needs to be a puppet and it's CGI when it needs to be CGI, and your eye can't really tell the difference.
The grounding in that solid one allows the CGI maker to be like, okay, this isn't quite right. It doesn't look like the Demogorgon.
Another thing that really helps with CG is that the show itself is believable, so you're more apt to suspend disbelief and see something that you can believe does exist. Right. So, like,
and they waited so long to show the CG portions.
But like, if the show was bad or had bad acting, you wouldn't be drawn into it, and you'd notice the disconnect of the CG. But whereas Stranger Things is, you're very much just, yes, I am a part of this world. Fucking take me through it. So you're right there with the monster's right there.
Speaking of this, is just a little tangent about the kids that were involved in this. Is that I think it was like Golden Globes or some shit like that, some award show. The kids from Stranger Things decided to go and hand out peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Oh, yeah.
There was this big flip out. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, how dare they hand out peanut butter and jelly sandwiches because I might have a nut allergy or I self-diagnosed myself as gluten allergic." Or
it's like, then don't fucking eat it.
Don't fucking eat it. Throw it in the trash. There's 10-year-old kids. How much?
I happen to know most of the women in Hollywood have taken a nut.
Oh wow!
Wow. Well, there goes a lot of the famous guest stars we could hope to get. Thanks.
Now we're gonna get some.
Shut the fuck up, David.
That's why you're my favorite, David.
Go. You're gonna get turned upside down for that.
Yeah, we're sending David to the upside down.
Looks like a nice place.
That's
actually vomiting slugs when you come back.
That's actually my favorite part of the show, and mainly because the upside down is it ties into last week's show because the biggest influence on the upside down was Silent Hill.
Mm-hmm.
The concept of the flip town and how it operates, I should say.
Well, and it really goes into bridging into the whole concept of just that the idea of an upside down or the other side or extra dimensional existence has existed in mythology for centuries.
Oh, yeah.
For eons, thousands of years. We've talked about, you go under a hill and you're suddenly in this random forest. Well, how'd you get to a forest from under a hill? I love how on science fiction and supernatural subjects, I love how Gwen Spencer explains it in her Elf Home novels.
Well, it's also kind of like an event horizon type of thing,
magic.
too.
Yeah, wormholes.
Yeah, wormholes and things like that are something we don't understand because we've never even seen one. And we just have scientists that are like, oh, well, mathematically, this and 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 this.
Because science.
Cool. Well, but math isn't going to save me from that thing eating the fuck out of me.
And they cleanly
neither
dodge
will bullets,
the fact,
apparently.
Justice for Barb.
Guys, Tim is trying to talk. Phil, shut the fuck up.
They cleanly dodge that the fact that in black holes and event horizons and stuff, the mathematics of the entire universe breaks apart. It doesn't work at all. All the math they did for physics, nope, doesn't work in a black hole.
That was very weirdly one of my other favorite things with Stranger Things was they never really talked about the science because they didn't need to.
They didn't know the science. They made an accident.
Yeah, I really like the fact that it wasn't like bogged down by like, oh, well, they couldn't do this in science. They're like, no, they didn't. It's like, no, you're dealing with little kids. They don't care about the science. So we're not going to tell you about the science.
I love how they use real details. It was almost like it was literally a historical science fiction because they used the MK Ultra experiments as a basis for this whole creation,
which was cool. That made me happy because I love like the conspiracies around the MK Ultra. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and even today, there's still people that attest that.
I'm sure.
Shit will give you psychic powers, and as someone who's had psychic powers most of his life, it didn't give me psychic powers. It didn't make it any better. It didn't make it any worse. It was just getting high.
It's getting high.
It's true. It's just getting high. You don't gain anything from it. It's a temporary experience. Well, I mean, all
lazy
experience is temporary, but it's not.
And really want that bag of Cheetos.
Yeah, right.
And I never wanted a bag of Cheetos. I just wanted to climb on top of things when I was.
Okay, Funyuns and Mountain Dew.
I didn't like. Actually, it was really hard to. It was really hard to eat.
Playing with the legends of yore.
It's just really hard to eat when you're high.
I was saying on acid.
Oh, I mean, all right, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's really hard to eat. Like it's not that you can't. It's just Anyway, that's still on topic. They used acid.
Wtfx does not condone the use of drugs.
We also totally don't mind if you do, though.
Yeah, like, I mean, I've been around a few, but, I'm just saying.
I mean, if we're what you listen to while you're chilling out and high,
you're probably already drunk.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Like, if you're listening to this, you're probably already fucked up on something. Preferably not meth.
As long as you don't go out and skin a baby, we don't care what you do.
Wow, that's oddly specific. Jesus fucking Christ.
Wow.
Okay, so
Sean went there.
Fuck.
I did. Sold the baby.
Speaking of babies, let's move on to there's no way to segue from that.
That's a bad transition, Tim. I think you need to chill out.
Are you talking about the our story?
There is a story. Let's get on to the paranormal activities.
I'll do it. All right. So this actually started when I moved into my new place, townhouse, and there's a basement, and one of my roommates who was pregnant moved down there with her 14-year-old daughter as well. She had her kid some months later, and one of my roommates, who I'm not going to name because I'm not a douche, kept talking about how there's this negativity in the basement, and and I was like, whatever, I've dealt with hauntings before and stuff like that. It obviously isn't that bad because I'm not sensing anything. So I go about my business, and months later, she's like, "Oh, I banished it. I did." And she's like Wiccan or something, and she did some ritual.
Not to disparage all of that.
I'm not disparaging Wiccans or anything like that. I really, honestly don't care. But
it's just sometimes people get in over their head.
Okay, yeah, I'm telling a story though. So she
fucking Sean's giggle.
So she moves out, or not moves out, but she hasn't been here for a long time. And my roommate with said baby is no longer with her baby daddy, right? Yeah. And one night she's like, "So, yeah, that activity in the basement, it's gotten worse."
Not better.
Yeah, and I was just like, all right, so I call Tim up because he's kind of my go-to medium, and to sense for this shit, I said, hey, can you do a read on my basement? And Tim, why don't you tell them what you told me?
When I show up, it's weird. I don't want to see your house.
You might want to explain how you show up.
How I do this is it's a meditative process of reaching your calm center and then directing your consciousness to another consciousness, basically by sensing another person's life force. You can go to that person, and it's a very difficult thing. I would not suggest it without training and preparation.
He's basically astral projecting, which
the layman's term is astral projection, and the technique in which you do it is up to your own visualization, but some ways are better than others. Anyway, I show up on the astral plane, if you will, and I immediately tell David in my typical monotone transy voice, there's more people / presences in this house than there are humans. He tells me there are 4 people, and I sense you said there were 3 people in the house, and I sensed
at the time,
4. I sensed 4, and that one of them was very close to where he claimed the baby was.
No. You're thinking about later on.
Oh, what?
Okay.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
initially, when I asked you to do a read from the top of the stairs, you said there was a dark spot.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought you were talking about the second time. This has been an ongoing problem with his house. Is that it's something attracted spirits, and the first time there were 4 presences, and it was just in the basement, and I said, okay, we could just tell it to go. it shouldn't be a big deal. It's negative, but it's a ghost or a wandering spirit sort of thing. Low level.
So
according to Tobin's spirit guide.
So I didn't feel like I needed to intervene or anything like that. So I told my roommate that, this is what she should do. Tim had other suggestions, which I was like, well, you can buy into this. I'm not saying that you should or shouldn't. I don't believe in necessarily everything that Tim says you should do because of his background versus my background.
And my background,
she did those things, and she took some of her sister's advice as well, which she should not have. So her sister assaulted around the baby's crib.
Oh,
and it just got worse and worse. She told me after we had actually destroyed the thing and banished it, that her 14-year-old daughter had been hearing voices, and she'd come home and she'd just be in tears. And like every single night, her baby would wake up at 3 a.m. like clockwork. 3 a.m.
I don't think they were the same entities. I think that the first entity that I sensed was something else.
But I want to keep the story rolling while I have the energy and while it's fresh. 3 a.m. She's continuously waking up. She's seeing things fly off the wall. When she goes to work, she feels this oppressive presence, and she's had beer bottles fly off, because she works in a grocery store. She's had beer bottles fly off the shelf and like pudding cups and shit, and she thinks she's going out of her mind, right? And
she must not have eaten her meat.
Wow.
So while she's home, she's also going up the stairs. She sees shadows and shadow people following her. She gets into the bathroom. She feels something like depressing her shoulders and like pulling on her hair, and she's just trying to tell it to go away, thinking that she's nuts. So where I come in at this point, I'm going downstairs ready to do a load of laundry, and it's kind of late at night because I was being lazy that day. I had work the next day. I'm like, fuck, I gotta do laundry. I go down there, and I just feel basked in this just fucking negative energy. And I'm like, something is down here. So I immediately called Tim, and we started doing another read.
Right, and so the past time that I was there, there had been two entities: the bad entity that they pushed out, that I felt like after I had left they had pushed it out, and there was something else there just wandering around. Nothing harmful. Come back, there was one thing that was really big and really scary, except it wasn't big. It was crouching and hidden and trying to make itself seem like less of a threat than it was, but it had dug its claws incredibly deep into the mother.
In fact, she had told me that on 2 occasions when her baby had woken up at 3 a.m., she woke up and she heard herself hissing at the baby.
Yeah, hissing. So we, he and I decided that this is serious, but we didn't know at the time that we were handling this that she had been hissing at her baby.
No,
excuse me.
None of this had come to our attention at all.
And so we go in confronting a completely unknown entity, and through practices that are kind of an amalgamation of maybe
key
Reiki,
practice, meditation,
Shintoism, Buddhism, and some other weird, wonky Wiccan stuff. I've learned
Wiccan stuff's on his side. He does that.
I've learned from all things, and the one thing that I learned is that if the intent is what matters, the procedure helps you focus the intent and make sure that the outcome is correct.
So, long story short, we banished this thing, got rid of it. It's gone now. It's perfectly fine down there. And she was just, for a while, she didn't believe us. She's like, no, it's going to come back. I don't need this shit. She was stressing out.
How's she doing now?
Great. She sleeps through the night, every single night. No problem.
Fan-fucking-tastic. So we did research. I did research after the fact as to spirits that prey on children and mothers and hissing, which and it came back as that the most likely thing with all those search terms was a lamia. A lamia is a Greek myth about a serpentine sort of spirit, half woman, half snake, typically, that is said to eat babies. And I'm of the opinion that most myth is based on a reality. And the myth may have been extrapolated from this spirit that influences mothers to harm their infants. And we have other evidence of spirits that are resultant specifically from that, such as and this is going to delve into something people are like, oh no, that's just supernatural in pop culture, but white women. White women are mothers who have killed their own child and then taken their own life. It's a very common ghost story that goes on, and people talk about it all over the place happening.
Yeah.
So
the main reason why we wanted to bring up this particular story is because in Stranger Things, the main victim is a child and the mother is trying to get him back and everything. And it's not the same exactly. There's not really a movie or a TV show that represents that kind of entity, but it's really strange. And I really thought, I was starting to think, because I hadn't had anything paranormal happen to me since 2012 or so, that maybe I just wasn't going to be running into that kind of stuff anymore, and bam, it just drops right into my fucking lap.
See, every time I start to feel like that, somebody that I know ends up being like, hey, Tim, can you do this thing? And I'm like, God damn it.
I'm starting to get that too.
I'm not mad by it because, like, that's like, my earliest memories are that sort of thing. Like, I remember being about a year old and astral projecting. So it's a really weird experience.
I think we lost Sean and Phil.
Did we?
I'm still here.
I hear Phil breathing. God damn it. Why do I keep saying that? I am so sorry. I know you don't like that name.
No, you're fine. I'm here. I'm just letting you guys do your thing. I think Sean's dead.
Wow. Well.
No, I'm here. My headset was fucking being wonky. Sorry.
That's weird, man.
So yeah, that was our big paranormal experience recently. It also led us to realize that there was this weird flow of energy underneath the house that attracted the spirits and made it so that weird shit happens there.
Yeah, apparently this house has a history of that, so
Right.
it might not be the last one to roam through.
Oh boy.
But at least while you're occupying it and know it's there, you can use it.
Yeah.
Abuse it. Don't abuse it. That's a bad idea. It's a really bad idea to abuse it.
Harness its energy for your home.
I wish. I mean, dude, Tesla levels, steampunk shit. Fuck yeah. Like aether wave electricity or something. What?
Did you say vaporwave electricity?
I said aether wave.
Okay. I'm like, buddy, how are we going to turn music into energy?
Vaporwave.
Vaporwave's the genre. It's
a style of art. It's not just music.
Well, yeah, that too. Man, the aesthetic's really great, though.
Did we lose David suddenly, too?
No, I'm right here. Oh.
So, yeah, paranormal activity and things like that is the next topic then, because I feel like the paranormal investigation shows have been good and bad for it. I mean, because you see people using the scientific method and things like that to try and prove ghosts exist, but then you see people like, and I'm going to name names here, the Ghost Adventures people are total pricks.
Yeah.
They're antagonistic. They walk into every single haunting with the same, I'm a dude, bro. I'm going to go, I got lift. And that's
I can hear the mic breaking. Wow.
What the fuck?
Are you a ghost? Chuck Norris is in the house.
Yeah, it's really it's not a good way to go about it. This isn't DBZ. You're not going to punch your way through a fucking spirit, even though we actually did that. I mean, but that's a different. I said you're not going to punch your way through a spirit. I said even though we technically did that, you're not going to punch. You're going to.
I thought you said that intent is the only thing that matters.
Yeah, but at the same time, intent without any spiritual capacity, like that, is gonna and no protection. I've seen him do both fake and real times where he's been screwed up by a ghost because he antagonized it at the wrong time, and he never fucking learns.
Well, like, the main dude, honestly, most of those shows are all about antagonizing an area to get quick results. Like with TAPS, Ghost Hunters, their famous first EVP, the Get Out thing, they were being dicks. They kick everyone out of this house. They go in there, and they're just, like, assaulting the area, from what I remember. Correct me if I'm wrong. The area with, what are you doing here, and is anybody there? And it's, if you were a ghost hanging out in that space, you'd be like, get the fuck out.
Well, and I'm of the opinion that people seem to think that just the only spirit that's going to exist is a human ghost. And to be entirely frank, what makes you think, based on the evolutionary diversity of the physical life on this planet, that spiritual life is going to be in any way homogenous?
Well, there's a lot of paranormal researchers that actually do report that they run into other people's ghost dogs and stuff like that. I don't know about that personally, but
I mean, I'm not saying ghosts don't exist, but there's a broader category of non-corporeal entities than ghosts, demons,
like that thing that we dealt with earlier in the year. That was not a ghost.
That was not a ghost. It was far too powerful, and I, to be entirely honest, if it had been one of us, we would have been hard-pressed to just contain it, to be entirely frank. And the fact that they tried to do salting and just a ritual cleansing is... you need someone there to effectively tank the spirit. They call it attention.
You need your DPS in your tank.
Yeah, exactly. You need your DPS in your tank.
Jesus.
God damn it, Tim.
It's true, man.
It's like a fucking bike.
I mean, or you got a DPS and control. I consider myself a controller, and and David is more of a DPS/tank hybrid.
Sean, why do we deal with these people?
Oh, man, I don't even know. Man.
Hey, you guys knew we were uber nerds before you started this, and we're fucking proud of it. I'm not gonna fucking apologize. You guys are uber nerds too. Just get out of the closet.
The closet can't fit either one of us. Have you seen us?
We're too fat for that.
I know.
Seriously.
Like, you guys would probably become, like, you guys would create an event horizon if you were stuffed in one closet.
We'd become Akira.
Damn it, John. With prevent enough, they wouldn't tell a difference.
Yeah.
Tetsuo!
Oh, man.
Canada.
Tetsuo!
Man, I still got that nice, like, $90 version of that on fucking DVD for $35. Still really happy about that.
I saw portions of that when I was like 7 and had no idea.
You need to like see all of that.
I really don't have any desire to see it all entirely. I know it's good, and I'm of the opinion that it's good. I'm aware how good it is. It's just one of those things where I'm like, I don't want to be grossed out. I already have trouble sleeping.
You're not gonna get grossed out, buddy. It's you need to. Not really. Like the end for all of 5 minutes.
Ghost in the Shell was pretty trippy too, but we're way off topic.
Yeah.
We went from, where do we go now? Paranormal stuff.
Well, do you guys have any paranormal shows you want to talk about? Horror shows, anything?
I mean, I don't watch a lot of paranormal type stuff, so
not really. I mean, Stranger Things.
The only horror show I watch now is Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! That joke's so good. When that kid last season got thrown into the ceiling fan.
I haven't started this season, but I've been needing to.
It's good. I've kept up with it. It's pretty good.
I haven't started it either, sadly.
No, you get to meet Ash's dad, and it's pretty fucking hilarious.
Oh,
didn't Lucy Lawless leave?
No, she's the main character this season.
Oh, good.
Cool.
For some reason, I read that she left the series, and I was like, the fuck?
No, she's a main character.
Oh, that's good to hear.
She's part of the team.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Lucy.
Sort of.
Yeah.
They all make it to Jacksonville?
Phil, want to watch show and find out?
I will.
Yeah.
And you'll finish it like in 7 years.
Right.
No, I'm actually watching it when it premieres. Suck a dick.
I will finish it.
What do you mean when it premieres? You're already 3 episodes down.
I'm going to catch up on it with the people that I'm watching it, and then we'll watch it.
See, the problem is he's going to watch it, and then he's going to start watching it, and then there's going to be some sort of like temporal paradox before he finishes it, and then he's just going to have to restart it. And so we're going to find ourselves in this exact same. We'll be in this exact same situation in an alternate universe where you're urging him to watch another version of it, except they're all kumquats in starring it.
What?
And
Tim,
you had me until kumquat.
Yeah,
I need you to slow down, buddy. I need you to you're getting a little too far.
I went full Rick on that one.
No, you just went full retard.
No, full Rick.
You never go.
No.
You never go full
Rick
retard.
and Morty. Come on, you guys never.
No,
seen that?
man.
It's
We
awesome.
have. You didn't go full Rick.
Yeah, you just didn't. Yeah, we love Rick and Morty, but
man, Rick and Morty's one of my favorite TV shows.
I was talking about
you are not
the dimension in which kumquats were people. And so like Phil is a kumquat who hasn't watched whatever you're watching.
It's not working.
Go on,
Tim, buddy. No,
I know we're both corn of action.
I love you, but no.
Cornholio.
So yeah, supernatural stuff.
Cornholio.
On the topic of supernatural stuff, even though I watch the show, do not follow Supernatural's procedures for anything involving spirits.
Oh god, that show's so dumb.
God, it's so dumb.
It started off where like you could look it up and there's some cool stuff where they used details of real life shit, and then they just kind of went full balls to the wall and threw out every manual in existence. So like there's no basis except like whatever mythology book they decided to pick up this season.
I always go with Tobin's Spirit Guide.
I made that reference earlier.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I said it was a really low-level spirit, in Tobin's Spirit Guide.
Really?
He did, yeah.
I didn't even catch that.
I know.
God damn it,
surprised. Tim. My reference game is so strong. I can.
I thought you were being serious throughout that whole thing, so I just didn't pick up on it. And
it was a stealth reference. I succeeded my stealth.
Yeah, but when you're communicating a real story that actually happened to us, don't give them Tobin's Spirit Guide.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Fucking nerds. Reference.
Yeah, all right.
Supernatural sucks.
Yes, it does.
I have this guilty pleasure that I started watching it so long ago that I can't not watch it, and it's like a train wreck. I'm not expecting it to be.
He's quiet, but Phil watches it too.
I haven't watched it in a while, dude.
You were just saying a week ago you need to watch it.
Are you eating?
What? No, I didn't. I'm like 4 or 5 seasons behind now.
Okay, Phil.
Who the fuck are you talking about? Because it wasn't me.
Okay, buddy.
I don't watch that show, dude.
All right, buddy.
I did. I'm still watching it.
Tim, sure. Myself, no.
I just, like I said, I got into it so early, and at this point, it's like I just want it to end.
They're like.
I just need to. That's all I need to do.
I have to get to the end. I mean, I've dedicated 10 fucking years to this goddamn shit fest of primal escalation over and over and over again. It's worse than Dragon Ball Z, except the fights aren't as good.
Well, I mean, because I imagine Supernatural contains their fights to one episode.
Typically, yeah.
I mean nothing disparaging when I say this, but God, Phil, you laugh like a fucking special ed kid.
Oh,
like that bus I yelled at earlier today.
You can't even constrain a fight in D20Z to a single episode. But then again, it takes 3 hours for 5 minutes for a 3-hour walk and 3 hours for a 5-minute
That's any
fight.
D20 RPG.
Pretty much.
It is. I think ours is I think we're a lot better than that about that, except when it gets to be my turn or anyway.
We're
moving on.
Fucking topic
D20.
again.
Well, then start telling ghost stories, David.
I once had one of them experiences.
Whoa, bro.
Do tell.
Whoa.
Phil, that was a hooker.
All right.
You need
she
to
let
get
me
yourself
kiss her on the
checked
mouth.
out.
She wasn't a hooker.
Yeah, you need to get yourself checked, buddy.
She said I could kiss her on the mouth. You're not supposed to kiss hookers on the mouth. She wasn't a hooker.
Phil, that burning sensation is not an experience.
You might have an ectoplasmic disorder.
It's just leftover. It's just leftover passion from our love.
That's the grossest fucking thing I've ever heard.
That's some serious ectoplasmic leakage, my friend.
Phil got slimed.
He got slimed.
And it is green and pussy.
Thanks, David. That's kind of what I implied by slime. I assume most people had seen Ghostbusters and got it.
Actually, in the original Ghostbusters, it was clear and...
No, it's not. It's green. Watch the fuck. I just watched the movie a couple days ago. It's green.
I watched it a million fucking times.
Slimer is green. That's why his shit is green.
Yes, but every other freaking ectoplasmic residue in the film is clear.
Right.
He was talking about the Slimer specifically.
Which is what there's for to Slimer. He says, I got slimed. I'm making a specific reference. You fucking nerd.
All right, guys. Put your slime back in your pockets, in your pants.
David, do we have to pull this car over so we can fist fight?
Yes.
Please do.
Like, this shit gonna happen?
I'll film it vertically and yell World Star.
Yes. All right.
I'm gonna throw empty beer bottles at you.
We do that anyway.
Hitting them on the other
I
coast.
have lots of ammo tonight.
Yeah.
I know what the video for the next show will be. It'll just be those two fist fighting.
Yeah. It's gonna be a really drunk fist fight.
Isn't every fist fight you have drunken?
No, I've had a sober one or two recently.
Oh.
that is a story for a different episode. Phil, what was your experience?
Okay, it was actually 2 related incidences, multiple years apart. Like, hold on. It's 2000. I'm
hamster spinning
bad at math,
but not very fast.
Look, man, I'm all over the place with you guys. 2011. It was like 8 years apart. No, 18 years apart, maybe. Yeah, 17 or 18 years apart. Anyways, okay. I was 4 or 5, old enough to talk. I
was old enough to talk at 1.
Yes, everyone?
Yeah, but we know Phil's a bit, slow.
All right.
So, he was 4.
Tell your story, Phil. Fuck.
Trying to.
I'm sorry.
Anyways.
I'm not.
Shot, get out. Just go. Just go. Just leave.
I will smack you into another space-time continuum. Get out. No, I'm kidding. Go.
Anyways. Schizophrenia runs in my family.
Ouch.
It's the only thing that runs in my family. I'm fat. Anyways. That
was a cold burn.
My Aunt Patsy and my other uncle, were both schizophrenic. And I had a cousin named Brian who was my uncle's son. I fucking names, whatever. They're dead now. It doesn't matter. Who was Terry's son.
Ooh.
And he was afraid that because he saw what happened to his father and was just afraid of it happening to him. Like, he saw what it did to him, he saw what it did to the family, and just couldn't deal with it. He started taking pills for a while, and things for him apparently got worse. One day, my mom sits me down, and she... night before, I had a dream. Now, I'm 4. I don't understand dreams quite yet. But my mom sits me down, and she's like, Philip, I've got bad news. It's about your cousin Brian. Now, I had no way of knowing whatsoever, save the very detailed dream I apparently had. Look at my mom. It's like, without her, she wasn't going to lie to me because I'm like, did he kill himself? And she's just like, yeah. How did you know that? And I'm just like, did he put his gun in his mouth and blow his brains out? Or however I would have said it when I was fucking 4. And she's just like, she's not going to lie to me. And she's like, that's exactly how it happened. How did you know? And I had a dream about it, and it's the weirdest fucking thing that ever happened.
That's actually
Fast forward to... Go ahead.
That's actually a common phenomenon. Lots of
really
people
sadly common phenomenon.
Yeah, have like predictive dreams, and then the
I mean, not
event
to say
happens
that
later on.
It is certainly paranormal, but it's not. Yeah, I've had those a lot. Go on to your second occurrence of that.
Yeah, sorry.
Fast forward to no, you're fine. Fast forward to 2009. This one got wonky because I had a dream that my mom had a heart attack.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Then it was before I was going away to military school. So, I didn't want to leave because I was, oh shit, something's going to happen.
Yeah.
But whatever. It's kind of fucked up, but I'll see what happens. So I don't really have a choice. I have to go to military school. I dropped out of high school. This is fixing my life. In February of 2010, I get a phone call from my mom. My dad has died of a heart attack.
Oh shit.
Yep.
You need to lose some weight, Phil. I mean, that was dark. I'm sorry.
That
was not the time for a fat joke, buddy. What do you think I go to the gym? Plus, my dad was skinny. He just smoked a lot.
Ouch. Okay, I need to quit smoking.
Yeah, you do, or you have a heart attack, and I won't feel sad about it because you're a dick.
I am a dick. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm an apologetic dick.
But wait, your dream was about your mother, right?
It was. That was the weird part about it. Maybe it wasn't about her. For the entire time I was there, I had this bad feeling in the back of my head that something was involved.
That makes sense. There's been a couple of times where you don't get a very specific impression of what's going on, and I've had that happen to me in two different ways. One way where is most of the time I have a realization in the moment that, hey, this thing happened before, and following that moment of deja vu is something that's pivotal. Something is changing or something is about to happen.
I've never had deja vu when it's been useful or enlightening. It's just like, I feel like this has happened before. What the fuck? And I've had several occurrences, even with Sean, where we're all drinking. And I'm like, deja vu. I'm starting to think that maybe future me is a dick and he keeps time traveling and changing shit.
Well,
and
David,
I'm not getting the fucking memo.
From somebody that's had apparently useful precognition, it sucks.
I've had it's weird because I don't know how useful it is, because when it's happened to me the two times that I actually warned someone of something I was like 4 or 5, and this had started to happen really commonly when I was 4 or 5, where I would have dreams that were basically nightmares, but they were things that were going to happen. Like I had a dream of watching the San Francisco earthquake on television, the one that caused the double decker that bridge to collapse on top of itself. I saw that in my dreams, and then I saw this local explosion that it changed the regulation on how you store chemicals to market.
Nigga, are you trying to one-up me?
No, I'm not trying to one-up you. I'm just saying, why would I try to one-up you and make up a story? These are things that actually happen.
I'm kidding.
Sharing similar experience.
Fight.
Just go ahead and commiserate.
Fight.
Oh, I will punch you in the spirit testicles.
Oh, not in his spectacles.
Spectacles. My ectoplasticles.
Yeah.
No, the only
I'm gonna dream of you
future
getting
children
fucked up.
will disappear from the timeline.
Yeah. Phil,
Wow, hurtful.
I don't believe in you. Phil, I'm not a supporter.
No, that'll help the universe.
Phil, I'm not a supporter of eugenics, but you shouldn't breed.
Wow, Sean.
Wow.
Was that it? Was that too dark?
It was a bit much.
Did you not see that coming?
That was
Thinly veiled Nazi apologies right there.
Veiled Nazi. Nazis don't apologize, even veiled.
No, I'm implying that he's a Nazi apologist.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, he's just an asshole.
True facts.
Yeah.
True facts.
Why not both?
Well,
not a Nazi apologist.
I mean,
it's definitely not apologetic.
Back to Stranger Things. There's, I think all of us can agree that there are many things that make the show enjoyable for us, but I think they just nailed so many aspects of paranormal, like conspiracy theory and phenomena, that just really gives it that perfect creep factor.
And it was so well grounded too. Like, you felt so real.
Like, they never really use the whole shadow person thing or anything like that, but I've had a lot of experiences with shadow people, personally. In my time, I don't know if anybody else has.
I don't know. I mean, I always see these.
No.
I don't know that I call them shadow people. Like, every entity I've come across that was. I mean, I've seen. It's weird. I always dismiss things when I'm seeing a shadow flick across my peripheral. It's like, I don't need to pay attention to that, or I shouldn't pay attention to that, or if I do pay attention to that, it's probably not going to show up again, etc. But when I've seen spirits, it's usually like this weird corona outline. Like, if you look at the sun too long,
Corona's fucking gross.
What? No.
That's a helpful thing. Thanks for coming in, Phil.
The corona. Oh my god. What was that word you called someone? It's plebeian?
Phil is in fact a pleb, yes.
Fuck you. Oh.
Good God, Phil.
But no, I was talking about the
you scored points for your story, but
look. Am I the only one who accidentally stares at the sun or a light bulb too long and gets that weird after effect? That's
Yes.
Yellow thing.
Because we're not retarded.
I'm not retarded.
Phil, calm down, buddy.
Fuckhead.
Calm down.
But you're definitely
you're walking out of your lane there. You need to put your helmet on and walk back in there.
Ow. Bro.
I know.
Bruh.
Like, that was a burn so cold that ice won't fix it.
Yeah, I know Tim's not retarded. I just love giving him a hard time. No.
Really?
We don't know that any of us.
I didn't know you felt that way about him.
This could all be a delicious delusion. We're all in a fucking matrix or some shit.
All right.
No, honestly, that's my least.
Go on with your story.
I don't have a story.
You were talking.
You said you had one. You were telling one.
I did?
Yeah, Phil derailed you with his coronas are gross thing.
I was just saying that the only time I don't have the shadow people thing. I just, when I see spirits, I don't see the shadow people or something like that. Like, I see a corona thing. It looks like this after image you get from staring at a light source too long.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
I saw one when I was really young, before I was even in school, actually. I was going to sleep. I've told this story a lot of times to Sean, so he's heard this one.
I've heard all your stories.
Oh, fuck you.
You've heard all mine. That's how we work. We're like an old married couple.
Go get me a beer.
My fucking head,
wait, I already have one.
Get out of my fucking head.
Maybe they should. Maybe you should marry Sean. I ship it.
Maybe I'm really just like projecting all these terrible. No, I'm just picking up on all your terrible thoughts. You guys have no shielding. You just blast out your head.
Our goal is to drag everyone else down with us.
I ship it.
You don't drag anybody down. You shoot them out of the sky.
Anyways.
And let them sink.
Yeah, all right.
Anyways. So I was really young, sleeping in the back room of my parents' old house in Bloomington, California. And one night I was trying to go to sleep, and the way that our room, mine and my brother's, was constructed was that there was a sliding glass door that led to the backyard. Years later, my father would build another section that was like a storage room or something. He intended to do something else with it, but he never did because he's, So this one night, I'm drifting off to sleep, and I see this figure with a top hat. Perfect shadow, and it scared the living fuck out of me. I'm laying there, I cover my head, and the next thing I know, I wake up in the morning, and my father and my brother are inspecting the lower right-hand corner of the sliding glass door, and it's shattered. So, who is fucking with their mic?
It's Tim.
I just moved my mic so you didn't hear me drink. Just don't call attention to it.
It's calling attention to itself.
Yeah.
Well, sorry.
All right.
Years later, I would have other run-ins with shadow people while I was staying with my sister-in-law. For a while, I was working night shift, and one night I had this really fucked up nightmare where I was walking around this this mansion in the dream and using a camcorder with a viewfinder, which is fucking weird because I never used a camcorder. I always had a cell phone to film things. So I'm walking around this house and I'm seeing these figures in the viewfinder, and I spot one up in a doorway as I'm walking up a staircase. It turns, looks at me, and then darts towards the front of the house. So I turn around, I head towards the front of the house, the door, and it's just crouching there, and it's got these crimson, sharp, oval eyes, like a gray. And when it notices me, it dashes through me and tries to knock me to the ground. Next thing I know, I'm being attacked by them, and the scene completely fades. It changes to this blank landscape where I'm standing in line with a bunch of other nondescript people, and I could still feel them watching me around me. So after that, I woke up, and my ex was standing there trying to get my attention, and I could feel that the room was completely fucking charged with energy. So I told her to get out so I could kind of get my bearings and push whatever the hell was in the room at the time out. What makes this story weirder is that night I go to work. I was doing night stock at a grocery store. I was talking to the night captain about this right as we're about to start our shift. We're having coffee, talking about this, and the sensor for the front door, that the automatic door for the grocery store, was not turned off. And it's 12 a.m. Nobody's out there. It's just us. And as I'm telling this story to him, it starts opening and closing by itself. This scared the piss out of him, and he walks over, turns it off, and says, "That's enough about that."
I've had enough out of you.
That's enough out of you.
We're done with this.
Psychic son of a bitch.
Yeah.
So, later on that day, I was telling the receiver about this at like 4 a.m., and in the middle of my story, again, something starts pounding on the metal shutters to one of the docks. And it was way before anyone would even show up to do a delivery. We looked outside and everything. No one was there.
Dang, kids.
All right. If I whacking off of your tool shed again.
Basically.
What?
Who would whack off in somebody's tool shed?
Them damn kids. Whacking it.
Whacking it. Fucking Sean.
I tell you what.
I'm not going to come and get you if I find you whacking it in San Diego. Don't come crying to me if I see you whacking it in San Diego.
Anyways, those are a few of my many experiences.
Did I ever tell you about the time I was possessed by the dying spirit of my foster sister's grandfather?
No.
God, that's oddly specific.
Yeah, man.
Really oddly specific. So, if you know much about people dying, like most spirituality says that as someone approaches death, their spirit starts to wander off at times. And that's one of the reasons that I think that's one of the weird things about Alzheimer's is this guy, he had Alzheimer's and dementia, and he would just kind of like wander off and act like he was like 30 years in the past, completely coherent, try to write checks and everything, but have no idea that it's like, 30 years later.
Right.
So I wake up in the middle of the night as about a week before he dies, and hasn't been lucid for about a week or two. So I wake up in the middle of the night and I start looking around for pieces of paper and stuff, according to my mother. and I apparently I was trying to write checks in his name, in her dying grandfather's name, a week before he died. Yeah, that was a weird one.
Oh, no shit.
That's insane. You've had a few experiences like that, though.
Yeah, I mean, the next time the first time I ever had an encounter with a ghost was when I was 5 years old. A friend of my mother's was raped and murdered about a block from her house. Because her girlfriend left her at a party and didn't drive her home. They never travel home alone.
Always drive your friends home.
Yeah, and so she got raped and murdered about. It's
like jokes aside.
All jokes aside, and so she, the night after my mother told me that she was going to die, that she died. I think it was right after they found her body that she told me. It was immediately after, and it didn't take them long. It was after, she didn't show up for home. They looked for her. And the next night after my mom told me, I woke up in the middle of the night. There was this pirate castle that I had half finished, and she helped me finish that castle.
All right.
Yep.
Nice.
So, yeah. And then, it's not all happy like that.
But
most of the time, it's not.
Where's my Patrick Swayze love story?
Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
I want Patrick Swayze's ghost to cradle me in them Patrick Swayze arms of his while I sit at a pottery wheel.
You know what's ironic? She was a lesbian.
Me more? What?
No, the person I was talking about. You're a lesbian, and now you're talking all gay.
Because I'm talking about the movie Ghost.
I know what you're talking about, but wow, really loving that Swayze.
Maybe you could say I'm Swayze crazy.
Wolverine.
God damn it!
Wow.
God damn it, Phil. At least when I make puns and rhymes, they're good.
Swayze crazy is an actual phrase related to him. Buddy.
Is it really?
Yes.
Is that like the 6 Degrees to Kevin Bacon thing?
Probably.
I have not had enough to drink, guys.
I know.
I think we need to stop dealing with each other.
I don't have enough pot to deal with you guys now.
Sean, you're oddly quiet.
I don't have a lot to say on the subject. I'm not really much of a believer in any of this. I'd say it's cool. Like, I'm not like going to talk shit on it, but I mean, it's not something I put a lot of faith in.
Why not talk about it from that angle?
Because I don't really have anything to talk about that angle either. It's just like I don't put faith in this. Like, that's all there is to say on that.
All right.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm sure. Like, I did when I was younger. Yeah, of course. But like, when I was younger, I was also, not yet diagnosed as a borderline schizophrenic, and now I am, and now I know where a lot of the things I heard and saw probably came from. So I don't put a lot of faith in things being crazy or supernatural. It's just, oh yeah, my brain's fucking wonky. So I don't put a lot of effort into it.
I'm also of the opinion, given the Eastern mysticism and things like that, that just because you haven't trained to perceive something doesn't mean that it doesn't exist and isn't there to be perceived.
Well, some of the things
agreed.
That
again.
Not to be rude, I don't want to start.
I'm just saying I don't put faith in it. I'm not going to say it's real or it's not.
And on that topic, I can even bring that in, because to be honest, I've been around schizophrenics who had active delusions at the time, and when they're incredibly spiritually powerful, they can create tulpas and shit, like serious effects, like make noises and shit that aren't there.
That's probably true. Just hi, cat.
Wow, she's been quiet all the way up till now.
Make noises and stuff that aren't there. Meow.
WTFX listeners, please welcome Tim's cat, Navi, the fifth member.
She just said, "Hey, listen." Yes.
Hey, listen.
Now, I was going to say that for at least some of those experiences, you do have me as a corroborator, and I have no history of mental illness whatsoever. So,
and that's probably true, but I mean, at the same point, like, we're both young. You and I are both young when we did a lot of this stuff. And I mean, youth is no excuse or reason, but bear with me on this. we're both young. We're both hyped up on the energy of trying to find something crazy, of going out in these spots that we heard were haunted. We could both be each other's unreliable narrators. We're filling in the blanks where there were no blanks to fill out.
Well, no, not really. I wasn't necessarily looking for anything crazy. I was just looking for anything that might be out of the ordinary. Just
yeah, he's talking about the observer body.
Hold on. Phil, are you just inhaling paper? Because it needs to stop.
What?
I don't know what you're doing, but all I hear is you breathing heavy and fucking with paper. What are you doing?
Nothing. I'm sitting here.
I don't think you are.
I think he's talking about confirmation bias. Is that if you want to find something, you'll find something.
That's what it is. I mean,
it's not, and that's not it. Is because none of my experiences did I ever want to find anything. Like, I didn't want these things to happen, and I'm not schizophrenic. I know I'm not. I've been through way too many psychologists and psychiatrists. I understand, though, the skepticism of someone who has active delusions. That's a completely reasonable decision to make. Skeptical until you're like, hey, did you hear that too? Because I don't know if that was in my head.
You'd be amazed how often that happens to me.
I mean, I know there's psychic phenomena and fucking.
Sean, what dog?
No, fuck you. That was funny.
Fuck you. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't at all. Fuck you.
That shit was hilarious. You kissed my ass.
It wasn't funny, and I was on the receiving end. It was awful.
I'm never going to apologize for that.
You gaslit the fuck out of me. I thought I was going crazy. Fuck you. Fuck you. I hate you so goddamn much.
That's my problem with paranormal investigators sometimes. Like, once they get on TV, it's like, okay, we're not getting anything from this site, so, hey, go kick a wall, and we'll film it and pretend it's a phenomena.
Yeah. Any show that I've seen on TV, I don't really trust any of their findings.
Yeah.
For that reason. It's like, oh, this is on Sci-Fi. This is fake.
Yeah, right.
Although there was one
History
time.
Channel. It's on History Channel.
No, it must be real. There were aliens in ancient history.
No, History Channel was bought by somebody, I'm sure.
By a conspiracy theorist.
No, they're bought. The thing is that
I got it. George Norrie owns History Channel because he's always on fucking ancient aliens. There we go.
No. Have you listened to Coast to Coast recently? Everything is caused by God. No matter what. I don't care what it is. God did it.
I was just listening to a Coast to Coast episode on paranormal investigations, and nowhere is any kind of God mentioned.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I listen to the show literally nightly. Like, it's what I sleep to, and it's so hyper religious now, dude.
Why?
It's just hyper right wing religious right now.
Oh,
what is it? Just Norrie that's
just Norrie. Like, the other host is pretty religious, but he's not bad about it. And the guy who does Darkness Radio hosts, I really like him. I actually like his show too. But Norrie is just so fucking...
Whatever happened to John B. Wells? I like John B. Wells.
I don't know. I haven't heard him in ages.
So I kind of think we're unraveling at the seams now.
We are discussing the paranormal, another paranormal show.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's true. That's true. I'm sorry.
It does count as a show. It's on nightly. It's not a TV show, but
it's a podcast. It's a radio show.
Works.
David, we had a radio show. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
No, and I mean, Coast to Coast is at least a little bit of an influence to at least David and I. So I mean, we're going to discuss
when it was fun and not religious.
Shit, Coast to Coast is one of the things he and I used to get drunk and argue about, which started the Beer and Cigarettes radio show.
Right.
We'd hang out as fucking old. Yeah, which you were on. Yeah, like we used to get drunk, smoke cigarettes, and fucking argue over whatever the fuck was on the radio.
I was on there once.
I think everyone we knew was on there at least a couple times. Yeah. We drug everybody onto that fucking show.
We got a physicist on there once.
Yes, we did.
Physicists, we had authors, we had conspiracy theories. I don't care how many we had, though. Nothing will beat Vlade, the Russian dog trainer.
Right.
That was the funniest fucking episode.
Wtfx.
My God, that guy was funny. Holy shit.
I need to go back and listen to that episode.
I did recently. Oh, dude, you should. Like, we talk about dogs a little bit, but most of it's just like Russian jokes, all of us drunk, and just like even he was drinking. It was great.
Wow.
Oh man, so good.
Like Yakov Smirnoff kind of
I bet we could get him
No,
to come
no,
back
no.
on.
I'm thinking about getting him to Stevie Will.
I want to get that
I still have him on
physicist back
Facebook.
on.
I want to
Maybe
meet
we
him.
could possibly get that guy on and be like, look, we're going to be a little bit off color sometimes, and hopefully you'll be able to jive with that.
Oh,
But,
we were fucked up back then.
Oh, dude,
yeah. I mean,
and Vlad, I just rolled with it, dude. He was hitting on the girls that would call in.
For some reason, I remember that physicist being like, I was really impressed by you guys. I don't usually get such intelligent conversation. And I'm like, we don't usually have this kind of intelligent conversation.
Right. But going
back to the subject,
going back to the subject and what you're saying about, when you're going out and you're seeking it out, that's one thing. But when you're in your own home and this shit just keeps happening,
right? Or you just move into some place and you move into a place and all of a sudden you start thinking things that aren't your thoughts.
Like the story I told about the fucking shadow people. I didn't go out looking for that. That happened in my own home.
That's fine. Work. I was explaining my reasonings for my situations, not yours.
I'm just saying that, I'm
almost
fucking 30 years old and this shit keeps happening to me. I don't want it to happen anymore necessarily. I'm not afraid of it. It kind of fascinates me because I want to understand it. Why does it happen? What are these things? If they are things, I've
always been obsessed with finding the monomyth, what's underneath all of what's the real truth behind spirits and ghosts and demons and magic. And
we'll probably never know, but it's fun to talk about it, and it's fun to speculate because it's not something that you can put in a laboratory, and that's one of the things that keeps it so fascinating.
Well, that's the thing, is that just because you can't put it in a laboratory doesn't mean you can't do it scientifically. There's a lot of people that are like, oh, this is a pseudoscience. It's like, no, it can be made into a science if you can apply the scientific method, period.
Okay, all right. I have a story.
Go ahead.
And we'll see what you guys think of this. It's a weird story. I don't know if it counts as paranormal, but it's something that's happened all my life, or a couple times in my life, and it's one of those things that I always have in my mind. Ooh. In my life... this is weird. I've only told this story to one other person.
You're about to tell to a lot.
Yeah, I know. It's fine. It's a weird... In my life, I've had 4 dreams. I mean, I've had more dreams than that. What I mean, I'm talking about 4 dreams I've had in my life. In these dreams is a girl, roughly, I'd say 18, 19, between 18 and 22. The same girl has appeared in all my dreams. She's been such a physical entity that I can tell you what she feels like to hold her hand or to kiss her. I know her voice. I know what she looks like. She's been in my dreams since I was 5 years old. Tim, that's really annoying.
Sorry.
Funny.
The dreams have always been different. When I was 5, I still remember this dream. I was still a kid. I was on a rooftop that had a fountain, left and right fountains, and she was an angel talking to me. Or something along the lines of an angel, if that makes any sense. When I was a younger, I don't know, 6th or 7th grade, I had a dream. I was on a field trip at school with her. She was one of the students. Several years ago, I had a dream about her where we were in a war. What's the term? I guess Homefront the game is. Or fucking Red Dawn. We'd been invaded and we were fighting back. Rebellion, that kind of thing.
Ah, yeah.
And now that dream's even funnier. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. And we were on watch and we got into a gunfight. I remember clearly, and I remember that dream. That dream's more vivid because our commander was John Goodman. Shit you not. That's what it was. I remember the fucking dream, dude. I remember standing there with her. I remember her hair blowing in the wind. I had this insane, clear vision of her. And then I had a dream of her about a year ago where we were in a park just sitting there talking.
Huh.
The same girl has been in 4 of my dreams that I can remember vividly, even from when I was a kid.
Oh.
I have been looking for this girl in real life since I was probably 13.
Maybe she's your soulmate.
I could be. I don't know, dude. That's why I brought up on this episode. You guys said you wanted me to tell a story, so there's my story of I don't know what that means.
If you find her, you're gonna have to tell the story again.
To her, yeah.
You tell her the story, yeah.
Of course. But I mean, like,
hey, maybe she'll hear it on here.
Maybe, yeah, fucking A. So, so she's about 5'7", thin, long brown hair, bright green eyes, and she's not white. I would bet her skin's darker than white, but she's not like black or Mexican. I don't know. She might be Russian, maybe something race. Eastern European, maybe mixed race. Yeah, she's not, but she has kind of like she doesn't have black or Mexican facial features. That's why I would say she's not one of those two. But she could still be mixed. But yeah, you're right on that one. But I know her if I saw her instantly. I don't know what the fuck it is.
She could be Scotch Korean. Kidding.
Yeah. Fucking. I don't know.
You're a contradiction, lad.
This seems like every couple of years she pops up, and I just don't know what she is.
Huh.
Now this weirds me out more because of what's wrong in my head. I sometimes have a female voice that floats around in my head. The issue is the girl in the dream feels very safe. It's a safety thing I feel with her. I feel like nothing is wrong, whereas the voice in my head tells me I should kill myself. So,
ouch.
I've got some conflictions.
Ow.
Luckily, they don't show up. Now, luckily, they don't show up a whole lot, although Phil has been there when she has shown up, and that's fun. I'm a fun person. That's happening.
Talking you down then was certainly a thing.
That is more personal life than I should give out in the show, but whatever. It's fucking.
Hey, so I did say that we were going to get really real in this episode.
Yeah,
a little bit more real than I expected.
And again, I'm not as specific. It's what I deal with. It's what I deal with.
Oh no, I actually do sympathize.
It does go into in that I've for a long time when the voice started, I wondered if that was her, but it can't be because of the two very differing sides of what I feel from it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, but that's the weird things that happen in my life. That's the one thing that I still put a lot of energy into is finding out what she means. I don't have a name for her. I've never heard her name in any dream. I just know she's in my head.
She's your soulmate.
Again, that's fine because she's
so romantic.
Or so a spirit guide, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things where
she's a succubus. I'm kidding.
I mean, hey, I'm kind of fine with that.
That's a good way to die. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, all right, definitely snoo.
Well, and not only people have so much sexual energy that they could just feed a succubus for like 10,000 lifetimes.
Yeah, seriously. I'm a lonely nerd, man. That succubus will feed on me for decades.
Like a succubus with water.
God fucking damn it, Chuck. Go the fuck away.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't put a lot of faith in the paranormal. I mean, it could be because of my head. I've convinced myself that to keep myself in reality, I can't let those things be real because they're aspects of my own head.
Well, and to be honest, I do. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that's something I know. A friend of mine who has this friend that I mentioned who manifested by accident. The delusion he was having was of 4 horsemen. He had practiced meditation and martial arts and all this weird shit that had made him incredibly potent.
Yeah.
So
I gotcha.
I heard hoofbeats. I felt something following us, and we ran home to my mom. My mom was like, "Oh yeah, that's not a good thing, but we can get rid of that."
Well, okay, kids.
Okay, kids, you brought something home, and it wasn't. You
brought home the 4 horsemen.
Yeah,
we're all going to die. Let's go have some milk and cookies.
Well, and the thing is delusions of that sort of nature are very common because they're based on archetypes in your life, and the Jungian archetypes are really pretty prominent among delusions,
like scarecrows.
All right, Bat God.
I'm lucky to say I don't have a lot of like visual delusions. I'm pretty much always aware of where I am in reality. Well, now I have dissociative identity disorder, so no, sometimes I'm not sure I'm real or not, but that's different. So okay,
I remember that day you.
Oh no, you should again. Like I'm not gonna go too personal to that, but and I think it's that you said you're right. I'm trying to hide if these things do exist.
Well, that friend of mine, he said he couldn't do that anymore because he was scared of himself. He was scared of the power of himself with power because of his delusions. If he didn't know what would happen to himself, and I'm sorry, I'm also getting to the point where I'm almost done. I can't talk much longer.
No worries. I mean, I've said my piece, so that's.
Yeah, no, I'm good. What are we at?
Yeah, we're about over an hour, so I think we're good.
All right. With some editing done.
I mean, you got weird dream girls. I've got weird dream.
I have weird dream cats.
Tim is just
I've been
weird.
obsessed 3 times.
And my roommates get attacked by demons.
Yeah. So
it's great.
Thanks for joining us.
All we need is a big fucking dog, and we're ready to go.
Oh yeah. and a really hot chick in an orange sweater.
Oh, man,
that's you, Tim.
Oh man,
I am not. I don't have.
Tim cannot be Velma. Don't you fuck up my fantasy. All right?
No,
don't you
he's
fuck
Shaggy.
up my fantasy.
He is Shaggy.
Yeah, Tim is Shaggy.
I wear
of
the
anyone.
green shirts. I have the green shirts for it and the brown.
Fuck, who am I? I have the glasses. Wait, we all have glasses. Fuck, who am I?
You got the tits. You're Velma.
Sean, I'm fucking up. Sean, you don't want him to be Velma. You really want me to be Velma?
No.
He can fill out the sweater the best. Anyway, I'm Tim. Thanks for joining us on
Phil Scrappy.
No, fuck you.
Good night, listeners.
Goodbye.
Good night. Oh, wait. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Also, check us out on Twitch. I've been on there most nights this week, so we are running stuff.
We are on.
I don't know. I don't remember the screen name. I want to throw the shout out. I played about 5 hours of Quantum Break a few days ago, and I had one viewer the whole time. This dude fucking stuck with me the whole goddamn time. So
he even put up with a little bit of me. He was a great guy.
If you ever listen to the show, dude, you rock.
Yeah, no, we're on YouTube, we're on SoundCloud, we're on Stitcher, we're on TuneIn and iTunes.
Yep.
So
and that one viewer, you rock, and they roll because they're round. Goodbye.
Good night.
Fucking Tim.
Cocksuckers.